Good morning from Los Angeles. Welcome to Trading with Sergio. How was everybody's weekend? A lot going on, a lot to discuss. I'll share my screen as usual. My positions, I'm trimming quite a bit. Not liking what's going on in the market. Ironically, I posted a video on Saturday with everybody in the pool, and I've been talking about this for quite a while now, for at least 3 weeks or so, that when everybody's in the pool, who else needs to get in for the market to move upward? And doesn't seem like we're getting a nasty sell-off, but the last couple of days has been quite a sell-off. Again, buy the dip. Is that going to hold in 2025? We don't know. What we'll do is that we'll discuss all that. What tools I'm looking at to see warning signs? There are quite a bit. I mean, start with obviously Mr. Warren Buffett, up to 335 billion in cash. What else we'll discuss? We'll discuss strategy and Michael Saylor, what he has done over the weekend with Bitcoin, how I'm adjusting my positions according to MSTR, MicroStrategy, but now it's called strategy. Other positions, I'm going to have to take losses. I mean, I have a couple of positions, actually. It's not that big of a deal, but I was also short Palantir, and I was short OKLO. We'll discuss those two. And then I have a few stocks that are testing where I think a bounce play may be prudent to do. I'll discuss those. I'll answer questions as usual towards the end or towards the middle. I will put the StreamYard link up if you guys want to show up. Here it is. Let me do that. Get it out of the way. You don't need special software to do this, by the way. All you have to do is be at a quiet place with good internet reception. Here's the StreamYard link if you guys want to show your pretty faces. Big week on NVIDIA coming up. Earnings are out on Wednesday after the close. Stock is hanging in there. After the initial hit with the Chinese large language model competitor that came out, after the initial hit, it bounced quite a bit, actually. Earnings are expected to be good, and we'll see where it goes. I mean, it's clearly a market leader. It's going to be watched very closely, obviously. More importantly, what happened with the quarter, the important thing is going to be the guidance, forward guidance, how some of the newer chips they're producing are selling. So forward guidance has to be paid attention to. There is some economic data coming out as well. Obviously those are important, but what's more important is that to understand the general health of the marketplace. So I'm wearing my Barca hat, as you guys can see, Vamos Barca. Top of the league again, with the 2-0 win over an average team at best, to be honest with you, but it was on the road, so it was a good win. What else? I don't know. We'll talk a lot about things that may be interesting to you guys. And also, please put it on the chat what you guys want me to discuss. It's a freewheeling show, really, on Mondays. So let me give you guys the schedule. Mondays, Trading with Sergio. Month end is coming, by the way, so I'm going to share my February results. Not as good as January, and hanging in there, though. But February has been really, really tough, especially if your bias is on the long side. My bias is never fully on one side or the other side. It's just a matter of finding the right structure, finding the right trade. So this week I'm actually releasing 4 videos. Please put a thumbs up. Please go check them out. So I'll discuss a little bit more about that today. How I look at things and what's in my head and how I structure the trade according to the picture that I'm seeing. Because for each situation, there's a different strategy that you have to apply. You can't just be a one-trick pony in this business. So you have to know, obviously, what you're doing. You have to understand correlation between all the things that I'm looking at, and you have to obviously you have to execute. A lot of people are smart. They do all the homework, but when it comes to pulling the trigger, they don't pull the trigger. So look, in this business, like anything else, you're as good as your last trade. Okay. And well, there you go. Well, I'll answer some questions before I go to my charts and my screen. The important thing in this business is not to get paralyzed, right? Market goes up, market goes down. You can't control that. That's not in your control. However, you have to be cautious of the downside always. Why? Because market goes up the stairs, just like any other stock. And I will put up a couple that actually in my buy candidate list for a bounce play. Market walks up the stairs, stocks walk up the stairs, and they take the express elevator down. Don't ever forget that. And there's many, many examples of that last week. In fact, that probably saved my February just for the fact that I was short Palantir while everybody was saying, are you nuts? Yeah, you need to figure all these things out, and you need to be nimble. You need to protect and preserve equity. You need to have dry powder always. At the moment, I think I'm like 75% cash. So cash is a position, people. You can't argue with that, especially if you have Robinhood account and the auto sweep, you're collecting 4.5% APY. Cash is a position. You just have to have cash, because we don't know where things are going to stop. You can guess where things are going to stop, looking at moving averages and indicators and things like that. But all of those are lagging, right? Those moving averages, RSI, MACD, they're all lagging indicators. My mentors used to tell me, show me tomorrow's price, then I'll tell you what I need to do. That's not there yet. Even AI cannot come up with that yet. So my point is, you need to have a plan, right? And when it gets to your price levels in a stock that you've been watching, it gets to your level, you need to execute. You can't just get paralyzed. And you assess risk, you size correctly, patiently you wait until it gets there, and then you jump on it. That's it. So to me, that's the toughest part for a lot of people who invest or trade, because we have this herd mentality, right? When everybody's saying one side of the boat's tilting this way, you got to be on the other side to balance it. Otherwise, boat's going to flip over. So it happened in Palantir. It happened in Robinhood. It happened in SoFi. It happened in a lot of stocks that's just gone parabolic. It happened in Oklo. Although that's probably the weakest play out of all of them, which I never thought it should get to where it should get to. But my point is, when everybody's going one direction, you need to be comfortable once in a while to go the other direction. Although they're counter trend, although everything you read in books is telling you not to do, but you have to understand and have the experience over the years to have seen these pictures before to do some counter trend plays. If you don't do counter trend plays, first of all, if you're just 100% long all the time, there's two ways of looking at it. And I have two accounts: long-term investment account and short-term trading account. Completely different animals, the way I treat them. Okay. A long-term investment account, I'm trying to buy things, hold things, DCA on the way up, all that good stuff. On the trading account, I'm looking to kill or get killed. Obviously, I don't want to get killed. Last year, I was up 120%. I'll post my February results at the end of February, first week of March. Almost a break-even month, which is fine. After being up 37% in January. So my point, again, in all of this is you have to treat different accounts differently, and I highly recommend that you do that. A trading account should be money that you need to manage a lot more carefully, okay? because you're taking more risk in a higher risk, high reward type of a situation. It's not a buying a stock and holding it for a year and a half like I did last, year with Carvana and Kava and Baba and all these other names, right? Again and again, trading is quite different than investing. Okay, you have to have both. Two, in your trading account, you have to figure out what kind of trader you are, right? Are you a day trader? Are you into zero DTEs? Are you a swing trader? Are you a position trader? And with each stock, it changes, right? So with each position, it changes. And more importantly, the being able to pull the trigger when things get to your targets is the toughest thing in trading, because markets dumping, something you really wanted to trade is getting where you want to get to, but then you're looking at the overall picture and it's like, well, no, I think I'm going to hold on, and that usually is the bottom. It happened a couple times last month, well, this month in February with SMCI and a couple other names. The point is, you have to manage risk better, tighter, with your trading account, because you're taking higher risks. So that's that. Let me go through the weekly schedule, and then we'll go on from there. So every Monday we have Trading with Sergio, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Every Friday, Power Hour, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Every Wednesday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, I do a members only live. Channel members get a bunch of perks. Not just, but about 3 weeks ago now, I created this Telegram chat group, which obviously I'm the administrator. We have about 22, 23 people in there now. There are some amazingly intelligent, smart traders. There are newbies, there are intermediate, there are advanced, there are, beginners, all kinds of people in there. So beginners are learning from us, more experienced guys. And then, we have a crypto expert, we have an AI expert, we have a data analytics expert. I mean, look, it's a really, really great group. Chat got quiet over the weekend and this morning, because when things are sell off, the other thing is people are not used to things selling off, right? Because stocks only go up. No, it doesn't work like that. But I told them, you guys have a good captain. I've seen a few thunderstorms or a few hurricanes and a few earthquakes, whatever you want to call it, before, so not to worry. So I tried to put my 2 cents in, as so you have direct access to me if you become a member. Number two, you have the live streams every Wednesday for members only, and you get a free t-shirt out of it if you become a member. This t-shirt right here, because our group is named #KnowYourWorth. $30 item, including free shipping. You just send me your t-shirt size, physical address, mailing address, and then we'll ship it out to you. No obligation. Just gotta send me your t-shirt size and because what we do is we wear like a team. All the members wear these t-shirts when we're doing the members only live. So I'm trying to get this unity or team together, that the experienced guys or gals will help the beginners, and they answer questions, and what trades I'm doing is going up live there. Like this morning, I put up the live trades that I did early probably between 6:30 and 7, which I'll discuss. So there's a lot of benefits of becoming a member, and support the channel as well. And it's not for the money. It's $10 a month. It's like not even a decent burger you're getting me for 4 extra live streams, free t-shirt, $30 worth. I think it's a bargain. But then paid forward, what am I going to do with all this thing I have in my head? I'm not going to take it to the grave, so might as well share it and then teach you guys how to fish, as opposed to give you a fish. Although at the moment I am giving the fish as well, which is the trades that I'm putting on. Look, they go, some are great, some are not so good, but overall it's been wonderful to be part of that chat group. So if you're interested, click on join on the membership on the YouTube page, and then you move on. So let's answer a couple of quick questions. Yes, Ernesto. I believe you did send me your. I sent you the Telegram chat group. So join. I sent you the link, I'm pretty sure. If I didn't, email me, Sergio@sergioavedian.com. I'll send you that again, and send me your t-shirt size. I think we did that, though. I get so many emails, I just get confused. But if we did that, then you're good to go. But I'm pretty sure if you did email me, I sent you the Telegram chat group link. And just please join. All you have to do is download Telegram and join. And Vic, good morning. Good morning. Stoic Outdoors. Good morning, sir. You should become a member. Sold some CSPs. CSPs cash secured puts on MSTU and NVDX. Oh, there you go. Here's my merch supplier, WeZoom Kyle. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Good morning, sir. Show some cash secured puts on MSTU. Good. So did I. And NVDX. Okay. Is that the 2x, or is it 2x or 3x or 1x? I'm not sure. Definitely turbocharged ETF on NVIDIA. Yeah, I'll talk about that. I'll talk about MSTR. I'll talk about what's happening. I mean, I've been doing this for a while with MSTR and MSTU and MSTZ and but I'll talk about it shortly when I, click the chart on. What else is going on? BKSY balance off the yearly 20 EMA. What shall I do? It's a space stock. We'll take a look at it. I don't know. Is it one of my stocks? I don't think it is, but we'll take a look at it. So if you have any other stocks in mind, just put it in the chat. We'll go through them. I don't think I forgot anything. So with that said, let's go to the charts. I'm pretty sure you guys can see this. So Friday and this morning we had a nasty sell-off. These things have been bought, and every dip has been bought. So if you guys can see this, put a thumbs up, please. Because I'm going to go to the position screen before you put a thumbs up, because StreamYard sometimes is goofy. Okay, I'm pretty sure you guys can see this. All right, so this is the 2-minute SPY. Well, let's go to the positions first. All right, I'm trimming quite a bit here. Although I did get assigned 2,500 shares of MSTU, but I'll get there in a minute when I put the chart up. Yeah, I'm trimming quite a bit. Drawdowns are inevitable, unavoidable, to be honest with you, but you need to manage the drawdowns properly. So look at your account equity always. So I had 15,000 shares of Werewolf Therapeutics. So that became now my tax loss harvester. I've reduced the position to 9,943 shares. I have another 1,000 shares for sale today, about $1.50 range. If it gets there, you hold on to something for so long, and then it either becomes a winner or it becomes a tax loss harvester. And this is becoming the latter. I will not sell all of it. I'll probably reduce it from 15,000 shares to probably 5,000 shares. So I was assigned 2,000 more shares. Now, one thing, I like Thinkorswim a lot now. I think I'm very comfortable with it after I was switched from Schwab to Thinkorswim. First couple of months, I was like fish out of water. Now I'm extremely comfortable with the app, especially the PC side. I still think the mobile app requires quite a bit of work. The best one out there, as we know, is obviously Robinhood. The UI on Robinhood is ridiculously good. I mean, it's just so easy, and that's why the stock has done what it's done, the growth of the company, right? But we'll discuss Robinhood. There may be a trade in there. I got assigned 2,000 more, but I got assigned at like 210. Stock is 218, and one thing bad about Thinkorswim, it takes them maybe like 48 hours to adjust the cost. after you get assigned something. For example, okay, third position is MSTU. I started selling puts expiring on Friday, 8.5 puts and 8 puts, because that's where the stock was. And my intent was to get assigned, because I do believe in Bitcoin. It's just, I also believe it's in a trading range. But due to the slippage, every time Bitcoin is 95,000, MSTU is lower because MSTR is going lower, because MNAV on MSTR is changing continuously. So something I'll discuss in a second. Again, you guys got to be really, really careful with what strikes you're selling these cash secured puts on. So long story short, I sold some more puts this morning. So I want to own about 5,000 shares of MSTU. So if I do get assigned, I sold some 7.5s and 7s this morning. Puts, cash secured puts, 10 more each. We'll see what happens. These are all weekly, by the way. I do not go into MSTU with anything longer than a weekly. It's just not worth it. And the premiums are decent enough that on a $7-8 number, stock is $6.92, $6.91. Got as low as 6 this morning, so pretty big rally already, because Bitcoin kind of, gave it up in the morning when the market was down a couple hundred and on the bounce. So Bitcoin, it seems like it's getting the correlation back that I thought it lost. Actually, it's less correlated now. It would have been a lot more volatile before, but on Thinkorswim, it's not adjusting the pricing. So for example, on my 2,500 long shares, as you guys can see here, it's giving me a average cost of 830. Well, I was short 15 of the 8.5s and 10 of the 8s. Well, obviously stock ended up below 8 and I got assigned both sides, which was my intent. Okay. I had taken in, let's see, 65 cents on the 8.5s, which gives me a cost of 785. And I had taken in 45 cents on the 8s, which gives me a cost of 755. Well, Thinkorswim is showing as 830. It shouldn't. It should show as like 780. Okay, so hopefully by tomorrow they'll adjust. And this morning I sold 5 and 5 more, so 20 more, contracts on the. Now I lowered the strike to 7.5 and 7. I sold 10 more puts with an average cost of 85 cents plus, and I sold 10 more of the 7 puts with an average cost of 58 cents, let's say. And so what can happen on Friday, this coming Friday, if MSTU is under 7.5, I'll get assigned the 7.5, but minus the 85 cents. So my cost is going to be 7.5 minus 85 cents is 665. And on the 7s, I took in 58 cents. If it's below 7, my cost will be about 645, 643 actually. So with all that assigned, I want to lower my cost to about 7 and 720, 730 range. I'm going to sell 5 more of the 6s if it does get there, or I'll add to the 7s. And then that'll equal 5,000 shares. So 25 naked puts or cash secured puts and 2,500 actual shares with a cost of 782. I figured I have to keep track of that on a spreadsheet probably, just to make sure that Thinkorswim is not messing up. No big deal. So I had 150 of April, 2.5, 7.5 call debit spread on Cooler Technology. Stock is 173. 2.5s are, down to 25 cents. Although I did buy back the short side of that at a nickel today. They're not going to go lower than a nickel until the last day. So now I'm going to let it run. In case there is a run in the stock, I'll get out, break even probably on this. This is one that we were short. I was long 170 of the $25 March 25 puts. I sold those, all of it. I'm done with that. Stock was 58. We're at 35 today. And I was buying the 25 puts at like a dime and 15 cents. So sometimes people go like, why are you doing that? I'm like, well, they can only go to zero. It's like a lotto ticket and stock drops out of the sky, which it did. Those went from like 15 cents to 85 cents today. So, well, not in one day, but in the last 4 days. So 400% gain. But now I'm buying some, again, the lotto tickets. I'm buying some this weekly expiring Friday 45 calls, because I think this is one of the bounce plays that we're going to get. And if it bounces, if it does. So what I'm trying to do now is that all my trades are like low risk, high reward. So the low risk is like they expire worthless. Yeah, I don't mind losing 20 cents, but I don't want to risk too much. However, when I get to the charts, let's get to the charts. Let's take a look at what Stan said, BKSY. Let me adjust this thing. Okay. Now we're adjusted. BKSY. What is BKSY? I don't know. Black Sky Technology. No, that's not one of mine. Yeah, actually, yeah, that's a nice chart, Stan. 22 high. Yeah, we're definitely going to add that to our buy on the dips strategy, because Lunar was one of those. Yeah, Lunar just broke the 50 EMA, so we need to be careful with that. 200 EMA is much lower than here, but BKSY is doing the right thing. Made a new high, pulling back to 50 EMA. 50 EMA is now right around 14. If this is optionable, or I will definitely, it is optionable. I will definitely trade this thing. BKSY. I got to be patient though. So you got to pick your spots right now. So the way I'm looking at it is stock is in the middle of nowhere. It did pull back all the way to 1470 range, bounced $1 already with the market bounce. MACD turned down. That's the only thing I don't like. But then I don't see volume is decent on the way up. Yeah, this is all the moving averages turned up, crossed each other. So lower end on the Bollinger Bands is about 1277. I don't think it'll get there. I think 50 EMA will halt it. So $14, 14.10 maybe, somewhere in that range. Either selling some cash secure puts. Stock's high is 22. So 22 to 14 is an 8-point pullback. It's a 35% pullback. So and low risk trade really here. I mean, the pullback is happening on low volume. As you guys can see, it made a new high on really high volume. Like it, looks good. So I would put, actually, I'm going to put that on my watch list on my phone. Give me a minute. Well done, Stan. Stan is one of our members. See, this is what we do in the membership group. Like, I can't come up with all the ideas. I mean, I have enough ideas, but a lot of members do contribute to the chat, and these are the wonderful ideas that they come up with, and then I look at it and I give them my opinion. Again, none of this is trading or investing advice. You're on your own. If you do happen to follow me and you just follow one of my losers, which I have, yeah, you're on your own on those. On SPY, we had 2-day pullback, really turning green already. I mean, we're still inside this channel. I'm going to pull this back so you guys can understand how far I look back to get a clearer picture of what's going on. So this channel has been in place for a long time, actually, going back to November of 24. So November, December right here. Oh, 23. Okay. So a year and a half. So this low, I don't draw too many lines on my charts, but when I do see fit, I do it. Then I have an intermediate trend line coming into play, and when I pulled up right here, and a long-term one. So in order for me to show you guys that, I have to pull it back 10 years, right? So this is the pandemic low connected, because you have to, in order to do an uptrend or a downtrend, you have to have 2 points of contact, which we do, and then a higher high has to take place. Well, those are valuable to draw. If I see value in it, I'll draw. If I don't see value in it, I'm not going to draw 50 different charts or 50 different lines on my chart. One negative thing with this is there is definitely a bearish, very bearish looking weekly MACD divergence. That's why I'm trying to be really, really careful here on the longer term picture. On short term, we're still hanging in there, but we're right on top of the uptrend. We're right on top of the 20 EMA on the weekly charts. On the 3-year chart, one daily 3-year chart, this channel exists until that channel is broken. No reason to get super bearish. Although I'm not super bullish any longer, my prediction was that the market overall this year is going to be up maybe 5-6%. You guys can go check that video out. So what this is telling me that I can buy puts more comfortably now. Okay. Meaning puts on the indexes to hedge my long positions or take directional bets on the downside, period. So the lower end of this channel is about 585. The upper end is way up there at 645. 200 EMA is 568 on SPY, nowhere near. But as I said, things like this happened in the middle of last year, where SPY goes from 570 to literally 510, 60 points, about 12-15%, in a matter of like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. That's what the Japanese yen crisis. So that's SPY, still bullish. Although all-time highs are not coming as frequently as it did 2023, 2024. So by the dip, everybody in the pool may have some relevance to all of this. This is the triple Qs. Made a nominal all-time high last week. Quite different. Before, that thing would have taken off. It's not doing that. I don't have too many lines here. No lines, actually. I watch SPY more than QQQ. This is IWM, which is Russell 2000. Breaking under is 200 EMA, trying to hang in there. Small stocks have not done well over the last 2 years, while SPY and triple Q are up over 50%. And they're still lagging. So there's no reason to be very bullish on IWM. Although I turned bullish quite a while ago, but now it's like, it's not there. However, I'm bullish on certain groups of stocks, which I'll go through in a second. So one of them that it's been on my list for months now, if you guys have been following me, it's Affirm. Last week earnings came out, they blew it out of the water. Stock hit a high of 82 this morning. 50 EMA is a good buying point always on this, or around it anyway. Was about 65. We're bouncing to 67.5 already. High was 82.5 4 days ago. So 82.5 to 62.5. That's a 20-point pullback. It's a volatile stock, but it moves. Boy, does it move. So that's one that you can, that's one of my plays. The other one is UPST, Upstart. Again, earnings came out. They blew it out, made a new high, 52-week high. Now pulling back to the 50 EMA, about 69 range. It kind of broke it. Now it's trying to hang in above it. But last week after the earnings came out, stock rallied to 96. So 96 to 66 in 5 days. These are volatile stocks. However, they will, if you get stuck with it, they will give you a chance to get out. And for short-term trading, these are wonderful. Okay, so you can use options, you can use the underlying, you can do whatever you want to do with these. Obviously, with proper risk management, right? I mean, you can just fall in love with these things. As you guys know, I've been very, very bullish on China for a while now. This is another one I'm watching. AI. See, it's just now it's broken down. Now no need to even think. I'll remove that from my watch list. AMD retesting the low. A lot of people are bullish on AMD for one reason or another. I don't know why. Technically, I don't see anything to be bullish about. Just making lower lows, lower highs. I don't know. There may be a point at some point to look at AMD. AST Space Mobile, we missed that one. They scared me out of it when it broke to 200 EMA. That pulled back to almost to the 50 EMA from 33 to 25. So you got to find stocks that are above their 50 EMAs. and turning green immediately when the market kind of bounces. And this is what it's doing. Like this thing was down a couple of points this morning. It's already green. So that shows relative strength. Okay. And that shows outperformance. So let's get into some of the Chinese names. Baba, I'm very bullish on. I'm still bullish on. It went parabolic. It's pulling back now. It got as high as 145, 120 today, 129 today, 50 EMA 115. I mean, no, 20 EMA 115, 50 EMA 103 so far still. But this is definitely need to get, 118, 120 is my initial buy point on this. I will definitely get back in here. Another one is Billy. The group traded this beautifully. In fact, one of our group members is still holding it. These are long-term plays, so I will definitely re-enter this trade. This thing hit 25 on Friday. Today we're at 20 and a half. So I'll pull back to right a touch under 20 is definitely get back into the pool levels. BBAI is Big Bear Holdings. This is another one that just broke out. It's called Big Bear AI Holdings. I'm closely watching this. It broke out about 5, doubled. Good volume. Volume is shrinking now. Literally no volume. This is getting into a buy range, either by equity or by options. I would love it for it to come to 5.5 range. If it does, next couple days, definitely tradable rally coming up here, and it's optionable, which is good. Yeah, that's what we're looking at. So hold on one second. Now go back to the charts. That's another one. Baidu is another one, another Chinese name that I'm really interested in. Telling cash secure puts on all of these would be proper. BKSY we added. Kava is one of my 5Xers. Going under 200 EMA, really into support at 100. Cash secure puts right about 100 or 90 level. If I can buy this thing, like 80s, that's why you do cash secure puts, right? So stock was 145, earnings were okay, selling off with the market down to 104. If I can get this 90, 85, 90 range, that's why you sell the cash secure put. So you'll be able to buy the stock at a later date at a cheaper price than it exists. So Kava definitely something to watch. We have a hot member of the group. He was in Celsius. Yeah, cash secure puts, gapped up on earnings, takeover of another company, doing good. Now you got to buy this on pullbacks as well. So all I'm trying to do is rotate and figure out things that I can comfortably buy on dips, irregardless of what the market is doing. Okay, and let's go through my list. A lot of people talking about Grab, not too high on it really. I don't see anything here. It's a poor man's Uber, honestly. If I'm gonna trade the real one. Uber. Here's Robinhood. So Robinhood had a melt up, great earnings, gapped up, sucked everybody in. Man, it came down and kissed the 50 EMA today. If it retests that, I'm definitely going to give it a shot with options right about here, about 48 range. These are the types of stocks that are going to bounce first and fastest, even if the market makes lower lows afterwards. So if you want to do the bounce play, these are the bounce plays. Hood, UPSD, AFRM. We'll get to the real headache Palantir in a minute. Let's see. Then, this is IBIT, because I'm going to talk extensively about MSTU, MSTR. This is following Bitcoin, period. It's not like turbocharged version of Bitcoin, although this BITX is the turbocharged 2X version of Bitcoin. So 2X ETF of IBIT. IBIT is the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF. A lot of people talking about IREN. Pulling back to 200 EMA. If you're going to do some cash secure put, more than welcome. Let's see. Lunar Been bullish on Lunar since 7. It tripled. I mean, it's just going sideways, but lower lows today. I'll just be careful with all these names. If you want to, if you're bullish on Bitcoin, Marathon Holdings, I think is getting to a point that you can do cash check your puts on. Stock is 14 and change. If you own this at 13 range after you sold the puts with the intent of getting assigned, I don't think it's going to be anything bad, to be honest with you guys. But then I'm just dealing with MSTR and MSTU when it comes to that. Meta. Meta had amazing earnings. I think it went up 21 days in a row. And then that streak got broken. Now it's gone down 5 days in a row. Amazing. Well, pulling back to 50 EMA right about 650 range. If it pulls back a little bit more, if you want to get in, it's not my cup of tea. I think it's very, very, very extended. So let's look at MSTR. And you guys somebody asked me the question there. Okay, MSTR made a lower low today. Over the weekend, they bought more Bitcoin. They are a touch, just a hair under 500,000 Bitcoin. They had just issued a $2.3 billion convertible preferred. They took the money and plopped it into Bitcoin at 97,500 average. Their average is about in the low 60,000s. So at the moment, let's assume BTC at 95,000, 500,000 Bitcoin, 47.5 billion in Bitcoin they hold. So what is happening is that multiple to net asset value is coming down on MSTR. We discussed that. I discussed it on many videos. Please go check it in the channel. I have explained it a million times, so I don't want to go through the whole thing again. But MSTR is selling at a premium to their treasury holdings of Bitcoin. Should it even sell at a premium? You could ask that question. Fair question. That premium got up to so last time. See, this is what happens on Wall Street. When everybody goes in, all the diamond hands get crushed. Last time Bitcoin was 95,000, MSTR got up to 543. Today, Bitcoin is 95,000, MSTR is under 300. Okay, so what happened is that MNAV, multiple to net asset value, because net asset value you have to consider their Bitcoin holdings. So they're holding 47.5 billion of Bitcoin. They have 250 million shares outstanding. Company is still selling at 75 billion. Now, the MNAV has shrunk to 1.5. At 540, it was 3.5. At 1.5 is where I start looking at it. But then I don't look at MSTR to trade MSTR. I look at MSTU. MSTU is the 2x ETF, bullish ETF of MSTR. And I sell cash secure puts. I've done this, like, as you guys can see, all these labels. I've done it multiple times. You sell the cash secure put, you get assigned, you sell the calls, you get called away. It's kind of a wheeling, but then I do it a week at a time as opposed to, most wheelers do it, sometimes months out. I can't treat MSTU that way because there is slippage, because they don't own any MSTR shares. They have swaps and options, and those are always slipping, always losing time value, right? So you have to be careful with this. You have to pick your spots, and this morning was the spots. So I got assigned over the weekend at 8.5 and 8. After the premiums, average cost 782. Stock is 692. I'm not going to sell calls yet. If we bounce to 7.5, I'll probably put out the 8.5 calls. And if I get called away, great. If not, lower my cost some more. But this morning I sold when the stock was right down about 610, 620. I sold the 7.5 puts and the 7 puts. So we'll see. If it's here, I'm going to get assigned 693, 694. I'm going to get assigned another couple thousand shares. I want to build a 5,000 share position with an average cost of about 720 range, low sevens, basically. Because I'm still a believer in Bitcoin, like Michael Saylor is. Next time Bitcoin gets up to 105, because I think we're in a trading range. Now, could it break 93,000 and take a quick dip to 75? Of course it could. Then MicroStrategy will be 230 range, and this will be like 5. Then I have ways to protect it. You can always buy puts on it. You can always sell calls on it, deep in the money calls. There's many ways to protect it. Ultimately, if we're looking at a $7 number, okay? So when you have a $7 number and then they give you 70 cents, 60 cents for a week, that's premium, you take it. And then you manage your risk. Could this go to zero? Of course. Could MicroStrategy go to zero? It could. If Bitcoin, really drops to like 10, I think, well, first of all, MicroStrategy is not buying any of the Bitcoin on margin, so there is no liquidation threat. But at some point, these convertibles that they're issuing by the billions have to get paid back. While their actual business is not producing enough cash flow to pay these billions back. And they may be forced, but we're talking 5-6 years from now. About 5-6 years from now, everybody's looking at Bitcoin in a million range as opposed to 100,000 still. Now, the worst thing that can happen is Bitcoin stays here for the next 4 years, 5 years. If any of you believe that, do not touch any of this trade. Okay. If you think Bitcoin is going up, MSTU is the play. It's like treat it like an ATM machine. Take the premium on the MSTU week at a time. Patience, week at a time. Treat it like an ATM. If you get a sign, don't panic. Sell the calls. You will get called away on any rally. That's why I do it weekly, as opposed to do it monthly or longer. It doesn't pay off. On a weekly, if they're giving you 5-6% premium, even if you get a sign on any rally, you don't have to sell the calls on any rally. This thing will go to 8.5, and then you'll just chuck it. My thing is selling the cash secured put. The timing of it is important, though, and you have to understand. So MNAV is still shrinking on MSTR. We're down to 1.5, and that's as low as I remember it being. So could it go to parity? Yeah, if it goes to parity meaning their treasury asset being only Bitcoin and their legacy software business is not being worth more than $5 billion, let's assign a price. Okay, so 47.5 billion in Bitcoin they own, 5 billion for the business, the software business that they run, 52.5 billion. So MicroStrategy has 250 million shares outstanding at the moment with all the ATM sales that they did to buy more Bitcoin. Well, that puts MicroStrategy about 210. Stock is 300. That's 30% lower. If that goes 30% lower, this is going to go 60% lower from here. This could be like in the threes. Okay. So you need to really understand this game and you need to manage risk properly. So don't be just buy and hold. These are not to buy and hold. These are to get in, to get out. If you want to buy and hold, do MicroStrategy or do some other surrogate of Bitcoin or do IBIT. Micron earnings are, I think, also this week. Stock is in a trading range. I want to be bullish on it, but I can't be yet. But look at all those tops, right? 110, 110, 110, and then on the low end, we're like 85, super wide trading range, 85 to 110. We're right in the middle now, about 97. There's no conviction, but once this breaks one way or the other, we are going to get 30 points out of this. So that's why you need to be patient to 3Ps. Nike is definitely one I started talking about. They signed a deal with Kim Kardashian. Not that I'm a huge fan of the Kardashians, but they do move product. And I think it's a pretty big win for Nike as well as her. Nike has been a dead stock for 5 years. But I think now you can comfortably sell cash secure puts on Nike without a question. If you want to own Nike like 75 or below, sell some 75 puts month out, collect the premium. If it's there, you get assigned, good, hold it. Don't sell calls on these. Once you get assigned, man, selling calls just gives you nothing but headaches on the way up, especially we're still in a bull market. So this is NVIDIA that retested. In fact, it broke the 200 EMA, closed under it once. That was a nice fake. And then bounced right back up, closed the gap after that DeepSeek news came out that weekend. You all remember that weekend? Yeah. A couple of weeks ago. We closed the gap on the upside now. Earnings are out on Wednesday. Hanging in here. This is also obviously going to have a massive move without a question. And here's Oklo. This was one of the ones that I bought the puts on, right? You know, 57.5 down to 35 in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. Yeah, this is what happens when things go parabolic. I mean, what else is there to say? I actually want to buy some index puts, SPY puts, to be honest with you guys. I wanted to do that a couple of days ago. I didn't do it. This is a 2-minute chart. I think at the end of the day, if they give up the ghost and roll over, you know, sell-off is going to accelerate. So I most likely will buy some puts shortly. Another high flyer that died. We're going to talk about that in a second. Let's talk about that now. Palantir. Everybody's in love with this thing at 125. I sold some more Howl. Yeah, I'm just taking my losses on that. Raising some more cash. Here's Palantir. Okay. You know, stock was 125. We put on the 115, 110 March put debit spread, and everybody called me nuts. Well, who's laughing now? I mean, stock is actually pretty close to its 50 EMA. So this is a perfect example of stock going up the stairs and taking the express elevator down. You know, grind higher. All the earnings are good. Last earnings, great. Everything is great. Everybody's in. Oh, diamond hands, it's going to 300. It's going to 200. I'm going like, okay, cool. So 125 to right now we're at 93. So that's 32-point pullback so far. 50 EMA, you know, I think it'll just go close the gap now, right about 85 range. You know, at that point you may want to give it a look, but I'm telling you, when these stocks do these things like OKLO, right? Stock is grinding higher. And then at some point you have to step in and do a counter trend trade. I mean, look at this thing, right? I mean, 57 to 35, 1, 2, 3, 6 days. Yeah. And then it took a month and a half to go from 21 to 57, 58. Right? All this time, grind higher, and then in 6 days. So that's perfect. Another perfect example of stocks walking up the stairs and taking the express elevator down. This stock I like actually is pulling back to this breakout line. We traded this before. It's called Planet Labs. Slow moving stock, but I think I can comfortably look into buying this right about here actually. Although it's, you know, going under its 50 EMA, one of my rules is if something is closing under 50 EMA, don't really look at it. That's why I'm not aggressively buying anything yet. I think market's going to retest the lows. All the what do you call it? All the quantum stocks are taken out and shot. There's not juice left. Like one was PDYN, Paladine, AI. Nothing there, but I like my AI. Big Bear. What was the symbol on that? Oh, there's another one. Hims and hers. Look at that thing. When things go parabolic. 73 to this morning. It took this long for it to do that. 73 to 43 in 4 days. 1, 2, actually 3 days. You just, you know, when these things go parabolic and people go like, oh yeah, it's going to 100. I go like, okay, good luck. I can't buy it, certainly. Do I short it? Sometimes I do, yeah. It takes balls of steel to short these things, though, when they're going up parabolic like that. And Big Bear AI is BBAI. That's my buy actually. If it pulls back to like 5.5, 530 range, I'm definitely all over that thing. It's about 617 now. For sure, I'm going to be all over that. Rocket Labs. You know, that's rolling over. That's under 50 MA. It needs a lot of work, technical work to do. Another Chinese name, JDS Uniphase. Definitely cash secure puts is the way to go. Pinduoduo, another owner of Temu. On any pullback now, Baba especially. Baba, Billy, Baidu, comfortably could be bought. Let's look at a few more names and I'll answer some questions and say goodbye. This is the Yin, YINN, is 3x ETF, right? I mean, if you really want to play. I mean, if you don't want to do individual stocks and you want to deal with, an index or an ETF, this is it, 3x ETF. I have one stock in my long-term portfolio. That's Unity Software. Great earnings, really. Absolutely broke out now. Now on any pullback, Unity must be bought. I'm long the stock from 22, 23 range. We're at about 27. It hit 31 on Friday. I mean, this is now, this is definitely should be in your watch list to buy on dips. And today did give you a dip after hitting 31 on Friday. It gave you a dip to almost 26. Well, you're going to say, well, Serge, how do you know it's going to stop? I'm like, I don't know if it's going to stop, but what I do is that it's going to outperform. If the whole market's going to tank, this is going to go down as well, but it's going to go down less than the market. And if the market stops and by the dip happens, the market starts going back up, this is going to outperform on the way up. That's my whole point in all of these. You need to find stocks that turn green right away when the market kind of tries to bottom. And it's very easy to tell, green or red, honestly. That's when you tell outperformance and underperformance. Apple, there you go, right? Stock is green, market's on its butt, right? I mean, that thing was classic. That just came and kissed the 200 EMA twice, not once, right at 220. And after selling off from 260 to 220, and earnings came out, they were okay. Now it's grinding higher. These are the things that you need to, that's why I call 3 Ps, patience, position, and planning. You have to have patience. When it gets there, you execute. Is it going to stop there? I don't know. It does usually, but if it doesn't, your risk reward is pretty decent. And, I mean, buying Apple blindly at 260, 250, 240, 230 versus giving it a little bit of time to work its problems out and, get to your level of comfort to buy is the way to trade. That's what I learned. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say anything else. That's it. The important thing is be patient. There's 10,000 stocks, literally. Just be patient. So yeah, that's the group that I'm looking at. I don't rotate too much, but we just added one. BKSY was the one. And so I will add some more cash secure puts on MSTU. 5 more, probably maybe 10 more, get up to 5,500 shares. Other than that, yeah, that's where we are. I mean, some bounce plays we talked about, right? 3-4 stocks. Other than that, there isn't much really that I'm looking at. I'm trying to preserve capital. I'm trying to have the drawdown as minimal as possible. And that's about it. So let's see if we have some questions and comments. Okay, BKSY bounced off the yearly 20 EMA. No, it didn't. Did it? Are we talking about, is it prudent to sell 750 puts for Friday at this juncture? Are we talking about MSTU? No, I mean, on a pullback to 650, sell the 650, sell the 7s. The closer you are at the money, the better it is. On BKSY, it did not get to the 50 EMA. I think you're 20 EMA. Yeah, 20 EMA is a different story. 50 EMA. I'm looking at 50 EMA. It's under the 20 EMA. CYD. We'll take a look in a second. Axon. What's the symbol on that, Jason? Give me the symbol on that. Is it AXON? If it's AXON, we'll take a look. Let's take a look. CYD. CYD. No, CYD, you dyslexic shit. CYD. There you go. Where were you at 12? China Yuchai Internet ADR. Let's take a look at this 3-year version. It's a nice looking chart, bro. Parabolic though. You know how parabolics end, Stan. They don't end well, do they? Yeah, it's just parabolic. It's probably optionable too. Yeah, where were you at 12, 15, 16, 17? After it goes doubles, he goes like, look at CYE. I'm like, okay, cool. Could it double again? Of course, these names are crazy. Is it optionable? Yep, it sure is. Yeah, let's look at the March is the next series. So let's look at kind of crazy numbers these things are trading. Not really. Open interest is not that high. Not too many people are trading options on this. CYD. Yeah, interesting. Where's all the volume at? Not in April's either. Nobody's trading options on this. Did they just open the options on these? Looks like it. Axon. AXON. Is that a Axon Enterprise? Okay, let's take a look. It is optionable. Let's take a look. Axon Enterprises. I mean, wow. Perfect double top at 700. Made a new high, sucked everybody. Earnings must have come out or something. Look at that. Holy crap. 7 to 600. I mean, gap is closing right about where the 200 EMA is as well. I mean, look, man, if you really want to catch a falling knife, yeah. Yeah, I guess. I mean, 200 EMA should act some a little support, 475. And the gap at 465. Yeah, that's I mean, it held 200 EMA once, twice, God knows how many times on its way up. Probably earnings were not good in the way it looks to me. You want to treat this as a bounce play, I guess. I mean, yeah, it's been an uptrend since 82, got up to 700. I mean, look at that. Just walk up the line. Then it went parabolic, had a pullback, put the double top in there. Now the game is over for a while, at least for a while. So, yeah, I mean, if you want to give it a shot, 20 points from here. And if it doesn't work, I mean, at least you're dealing with limited risk here. If you get in about 485 to 465 range or 470 to 490 range, for a bounce play back to the double top setup, which was 550. I mean, you're trying to make 10% on the way up. Is that what you're trying to do? This will not make a new high for a long time. Technically, anyway. I don't know the stock, but from the picture, not pretty. Set the double top off after taking out 550. So volume is absolutely increasing on the sell-off. So it's in distribution. Yeah, I would be careful with this puppy. Axon. AXON. God knows how expensive those options are. Stock is 500. So March 500 calls, let's say. Gosh, they're going to be ridiculously expensive. Yeah, $40, about 8%. I mean, look, if it's going to go, bounce 50, 60 points, you'll make some money with these if you buy it, right, though? I wouldn't buy it here. I'd buy it like 20 points lower. Then I think it may be an okay bounce play, to be honest with you. And it's nothing more than that, though. Yeah. Yeah. We've got puts into earnings. Jason, why don't you become a member, sir? You don't have $10 to spend, bro? Okay, good luck. You had puts into earnings? Why did it drop like that? It probably had, yeah. Yeah, that means nothing. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, so with that said, you'll be good out there. Yeah, join me every Monday, trading with Sergio. Join me every Friday, Power Hour. Members only live every Wednesday. So Monday and Friday, I'm live 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And on Members Live is 3 p.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And you'll get a t-shirt, you get the Telegram chat group access. All right, well, we'll see you there, Jason. So yeah, I mean, markets, I'm definitely more comfortably now, willing to buy some index, but you just got to change your attitude here and there once in a while. And today's close is going to be important. If they like give up the ghost and roll over and give up everything on this rally, yeah, Nvidia earnings coming out, that's going to move the market quite a bit. And but don't fall in love with every stock you see, man. And don't get into the FOMO habits, and then you'll end up with a Palantir in your hands. Imagine if you bought that thing at 125 when I was selling it to you. You're 35 points lower. I mean, you're going to say now, yeah, I'm long-term hold. I'm going to hold it forever. Okay, cool. Knock yourself out. But it proves the point, right? That stock took a year and a half to go from 20 to 125, and it took literally like 6 days to go 125 to 90. Things walk up and take the express elevator down. Same thing with Oklo. Because I do follow like stock twits, right? And you go read the comments, all these fools and their monies will get separated quickly. Stock goes from 20 to 60. They go like, hey, it's going to 100. They have no clue. Stock company has no earnings. None, they don't even revenue. Nothing, right? Only reason it goes up because the CEO was chosen to be energy secretary. Like, okay, great. But that's Wall Street for you. Same thing with Palantir. When it was 120, oh, it's going to 125. Oh, it's going to, okay. You make the last $5, sir. Knock yourselves out. But again, I'm not bearish on any of this. But when it comes to trading, you have to be careful. All these diamond hands and all these, they get wiped out pretty quickly. The hodlers, YOLOers, it's all good. I can't do it. I'm not interested in any of that. I'd rather preserve my capital and, going heavy on a great setup than be all over the place. So with that said, I'm going to say goodbye unless you guys have other questions. If not, have a great week. See you guys on Friday in Power Hour, and see the members on Wednesday for Members Live.